Alright guys, we're back on the Phatmoto All Train, and I just want to say thank you guys for hitting the subscribe button and watching my videos, and I finally got over the 1,000 mark, and I'm going to try to be more persistent on my videos a little bit more now. I just got caught up with a bunch of around Christmas time and stuff like that, but I was staring at this frame for, God, months on that table over there, and I guess I decided to go ahead and paint it, and I just wanted to see what it will look like, all this down here being all freshly painted and stuff. So I went ahead and put the forks on, and got it basically a roller, brake setup and everything. Now I'm going to be putting the 224 on here, but I was going to go over some stuff with this bike because I've had comments in the past on how I made the rotor and stuff, and then it's kind of easy to show you guys now exactly what I did. And then like the front forks, these are not the front forks off the 2024 model Phatmotos. I had these forks a long time before that, and talking to some people, it looked like that they kind of got the idea from seeing my forks and put them on them bikes. So there's a major difference between these and the 24 model. The diameter of the tube, everything is completely different. These are way bigger and a lot stronger than the ones that come on stock on the bike. But we'll go ahead and go over some stuff on how I made the mount and stuff, and then I'll show you the 224 we're going to put on it, and hopefully the weather will start clearing up. It's been negatives out here, so hopefully here soon we'll get some warmer weather and we can get this thing out, because street tires are not going to do good with the snow. Alright, so now the brake system, how I did this isn't, I think, pretty much the same as the pit bike and the ATVs, but I think when I ordered this one it said for an ATV, and it's a fully hydraulic disc brake. I ran the line all the way up here, got the brake handle here. So what I ended up doing is I was able to still use the stock bottom bolt hole for the bottom of the mount, and then I just had to make this little piece right here that will bolt to the other hole that's already on the frame, and then from there it extends up to the top of here, and then that allows it to pretty much line right up where you need it to line up. Now the rotor part was the hardest part about this whole thing, and it's for the fact that you can't find anything that with this bolt pattern of this rim with a disc brake. So what I ended up doing is, from China, I ordered a two-piece rotor, just the outer part. And when I got it, this is just a front brake disc, the front smaller, but your rear disc is a lot bigger. I think it's a 10-inch rotor. Don't quote me on that, but I know it's bigger. What I did is I found center on here, and then when I found center, I laid this outer piece right on top of this, and basically just cut it off, this outer part off, so it lined up, re-drilled new holes, and then just bolted this second piece onto the main piece. And once I did that, I've been running this for, God, I've probably been running this for over 2 years now. And because at first I was kind of worried that these would bend when you press the brakes real hard. They don't. You can lock the rear tire up if you want to, and they don't move. And I've been running it, like I said, for about 2 years, and it's worked just fine. Now there might be stuff by now, which I know there's some stuff out there that you can, but I'm not sure if they'll adapt to the Phatmoto stock wheel. That's the only thing, because I know Will has his rims that have disc brakes and everything already made and all that stuff. So, but this is how I did mine. I didn't want to pay a fortune to do it. I think this outer rotor was like $25, I think it was. I paid for it. So, and then this, God, probably like maybe $25-30 for the copper. It might be cheaper, it might be a little bit more. I'd have to look. But that's how I did it, and it's worked just fine, so I just keep running it. The welds came, after painting and everything, it actually came out pretty nice. This is a metallic, or like a chameleon type paint. I don't know how well it'll show up on camera. It's got like a little bit of gold, purplish color to it, and then this is the can right here that I use. So it came out pretty good. The handlebars are pit bike handlebars that you would put on a pit bike. I get a lot of questions on the bars too, and they're not that expensive, and I think they look really good, and they seem to hold good. I got a set on my 110 pit bike that I have yet to bend, so they're pretty strong handlebars. I'm going to be running the Juggernaut torque converter with this. I love how smooth they are with taking off and stuff like that compared to just the stock torque converter. And then this is the 224. This was red, and then it was gray because I had it on when I had the paint color on the other, so I painted it black. I think I'm running I think it's a 24 millimeter. I'd have to remeasure it. I'm pretty sure it is. And then the 30 series torque converter with this setup. The exhaust I may have to cut and pull this back a little bit so it's a little bit closer to the frame. I'll find out once I get it on there. And then the front, I went ahead, since I mean you can seal it any way you want, I went ahead and take the hole shut on there, and when I take that thing shut, it gave me a lot of clearance for the front of the frame, so I'm able now to actually mount this motor without smacking the where the fuel comes out, the petcock, or not petcock, but whatever you want to call this. And then the other thing too, to get an elbow so you can run your, because the stock, it runs down like this. If you take your original one out, go to I think I went to Lowe's, and in the plumbing section they have a bunch of these, and you can pick one of these up so you can screw into here, so that way instead of this going straight down, it's going straight out. And I did that a long time ago, and that made a huge difference on clearance and all that stuff. So that way you don't have to take the valve cover, which is right here, and bash it in or anything like that. If you don't have the clearance like I do on this, you may have to dent it a tiny bit, but it's not a big deal. I'm gonna have to change out the spark plug or the spark plug wire. Oh, right here. Sorry about that. And make this smaller because this is a little bit too long, and it's gonna hit the frame when you put it on. Anything else? I am running the Zoom hydraulic front brake on here, full hydraulic. I don't mess with the cable stuff because the cable stuff never gives you enough braking power. You guys might think this is funny. A couple years ago when I put this Zoom on here, I needed a way to space this out farther. This right here, and then that one right there, they're my air compressing fittings that I used, that I cut off and made into my spacers. And that's been like this since I've owned this bike. When I first got this bike, I didn't like the brakes. I switched over these Zooms and realized I had to space it out a lot farther. And the bracket it comes with wasn't long enough, so I used that. It's worked. So yeah, it works just fine, so I just left it. Kickstand. They stock kickstands on these things. They just plain out suck. I've broken 2 of them. I've had them fall off. And then this is what I run. And I've ran this kickstand for the same amount of time. I've had it forever. It's the style that actually bolts up like this. There we go. It connects down here and connects to your upper tube. And this style here is never gave me any problems, anything like that. I did switch out the bolts from the Allen head bolts to a standard bolt on it. My neck. So basically with these bars, because the stock, if you purchase these bars, you're not going to be able to put them on your Phatmoto. This is a BMX stem that I'm running on here, which this one is from off my one of my old BMX bikes. It was a stolen BMX bike. The name is stolen, not actually stolen, and I use that on here, and that's how I was able to get these bars to actually fit. The same thing with her bike, which I got some kind of cool stuff on her bike that I'm doing right now. that after this is done and running, we're gonna start moving on that, because I tried something out and it actually worked. So we're gonna do some carburetor swaps with that 49cc and see what we can get out of it. In a minute I can grab it and show kind of a clip view of what it looks like right at the moment. But yeah, that's basically the stuff that I've done. I'm trying to think of anything else. Well, the street tires, of course. These are 3-inch tires instead of the 4-inch that the stock one came out. Yeah, they're 75, 59, 26 by 3.0. So a 3-inch tire, and they fit really good. When you're filling them up with air to get them fully attached to the rim, you got to put a lot of pressure on these to get them to expand outwards and lock into the bead part. So what I did is I aired them up and got to a point where it hit, and then I let some air out of it. So because I like to, when I put fresh tires on, I like to leave the air pressure a little bit lower, and then that way when you get on it and you kind of ride it around, it helps push the tire into its spot, and then it locks in. And then after just going around the block, I'll finish pumping the air back into them. Because even if you use soap and water, or just soap and try to get it, there's always a spot that's a little bit higher than the other, and that's how I found that works really well, getting these tires to really seat. Alright, so here's her bike. Now, at first I thought this was kind of dorky with these little 20-inch rims, and that's off my BMX bike, the front rim, and if this works, I'm gonna change out the hub so that way I can run the disc brakes in the front. Right now there's nothing on the front for disc brakes, but I do have another hub I can use. But I wanted to see, because I've seen people do this before, and I was just curious how it rode and stuff. Online on Amazon, there's I can't remember exactly what his name was, CDH, or I know he's posted in the groups and stuff about doing reviews on the rims and stuff. So I went ahead and ordered one. I wanted to try it. I'm running the stock Sprock 50 sprocket on this thing. It does have the bigger spokes, the seal bearings and everything in it, and then I took off the freewheel off the stock 26 rim, and I put it on here. And I kind of went around the lock just to see what it would feel like, and sadly there's a lot of clearance for the pedal still, and this thing actually moves out pretty good with the motor with this size wheel. If you do order one of these wheels, they seem to be pretty good, but before you put your tube in it, go through the inside of the rim. There was a lot of burrs that I had to file down that would have cut into the tube. If I would have just threw a tube in it, it probably would have popped one of them. So I went through with a file, kind of cleaned it up, and then used electrical tape around the inside of the rim to cover the spokes up, so that way I don't run into that problem. So after we get this bike done, we're gonna get started on this. I have the carburetor off it because I got another carb I want to try on this, but I have to make the intake for it. So we're going to be making an intake for this and see if we can gain a little bit more power, because I know when I put the stock 2-stroke carb on this thing, it opened up, it came alive. So I'm wondering if I go a little bit bigger on the carb. I think it's a 19mm carb, so it's not crazy big, but I wanted to see if I can just get a little bit more power out of this motor. So that will be the next video that's coming up, is on this thing. But like I said, these Phatmotos will run these smaller wheels, these 20-inch wheels. Alright, so the motor mounts now. I have upgraded the pedals too, by the way. These are just some metal ones off Amazon. I got rid of the plastic, and I like the little claws in them that lock into your shoes. The motor mounts. So what I do is, this is 2x2 square tubing, and basically what I have done is I took and found exactly where the holes are right here, so that way I can drill through the bottom right there, and then the other one on the back side, and so you can get the bolts in easier. the top one straight down from that, I drilled up bigger, just enough where I can get the bolt, drop the bolt straight in, so that way you can easily put it on there. And then I made a template of the bottom of the motor, and basically I bolted these onto the bike, made the template to where it rides right up to by here, and then I marked my holes and drilled the other 4 that I need. And that's how I've done all these. And I just keep running these because they're easy to make and they work really well, and they don't look too bad on there once you get everything on. And then I'm running a just a regular beach cruiser seat on it. I'm still running the stock rims with this bike. It does have a 12mm axle, which I just did the spacer inside for the sealed bearings, so that way they actually snug up into the bike. So yeah, the next video, which will be coming out real soon, real quick, because I'm going to be getting this on there and getting this thing fired up, and hopefully weather will clear up just a little bit, at least have some dry roads. I don't really care if it's so snowing a little bit, as long as we get some clear roads, because these street tires are not going to like it. And then also, I forgot to mention, I am running a tensioner on this side for the pedal chain, so I can, because I like to have the wheel forward, plus you got to make it match up with your brake caliper, so it's just easier to pop one of these on. So I hope you guys liked the video. I will be having this come out, and like I said, I'm going to try to be more, I don't know if I said it or not, but I'll try to be more consistent on videos. I just get tied up sometimes and time flies. So I hope you guys are out having a really good day. Hit that like button, hit subscribe button. Thanks for watching.